Hey traders, I'm getting a lot of questions from both owners of the 3S code indicator and scanner, plus those that are thinking about purchasing and really asking me, hey, what is working? What time frames do you like? What instruments do you use? And you've probably heard me preach this over and over again. I use it on all markets and all time frames. Why? Simply because it works. So I wanted to share an example today on a trade I did on the British pound. Now this is a daily chart of the British pound. I am not long the pound off of a daily chart, but what I did do is take a short off of the 4 hours. So the 4 hour I'm finding continues to be very reliable, and I'll show you some stats here in a second, but I'm finding that the 4 hour chart on the currencies as well as some of the other futures markets such as crude oil, even the indices, the S&P bonds, such things like that are very reliable. Now these are kind of intermediate swing term trades. They're not going to be as long of a trade in duration as trades off, say, a daily chart or a weekly chart. Now we do have some 4 hour trades that can last several days or several weeks, but typically we're looking at just a few days. It all depends on the movement. So this is a trade I took in the British pound. I only shorted one contract up here at 129.10, and I exited today. I did not let it run all the way down to 128, which was roughly our target. 127.89 was the exact target, but I did get short this market. I closed out for about $360. Now also took a short in the Australian dollar, the 6A, and this was another nice 4 hour trade. You can see the last two trade setups here. We had a good long, and notice that it went right up to TP1, which is the lime green line, and then we reversed. And what I did on the Australian dollar, instead of shorting the market, I shorted the weekly option. So I shorted the 68.75 calls. Of course, I did that with the spread, only paid a couple ticks. So I brought in 23 ticks on this. That's $230 per contract. You can see I'm up about 12 ticks or so right now. But I just want to demonstrate that you can trade these regardless of, if you don't trade futures or you don't trade Forex, you don't have to trade those specific accounts. You can do the exact same thing in the comparable ETF or ETN market. So, for example, some good trending markets other than the currencies or the bonds. So we had we've had a couple of trades, nice trades in the bonds. You see this one from 159.16 to up to about 161.12, about 2 points or $2,000, and here was a short from 164 down to 163. It's another $1,000, and then we do have a 1, 2, 3 bottom in the making. So I would encourage you, if you don't want to trade the futures market, you can go in and trade TVT or TLT or some other comparable type ETF. Now, on an intraday basis, we're showing success with both the 5-minute and the tick chart. Depending, some days don't get around to trading the tick chart, don't even get around to trading the 5-minute. It all just depends on the schedule. But you can see here that we've been tracking pretty nicely. This is just the 5-minute chart, or 5-minute results of the S&P and the 5-minute results of the crude oil. And you can see right now in October here, we're at 1750 on a one contract basis and 1550 on a one contract basis in crude oil. Here were the results from September: 2300 and 4500, or 6800 total. And then if we go back, you can see 2100 and 2950 for 5,000 total. Again, that's just one contract on the 5-minute basis. You can see over here kind of a month-by-month breakdown on a 1, 2, and 3 contract basis, averaging about $1,200 a month on the S&P and about $2,500 a month over in crude oil. So when you put the two combined, you can see how powerful it was, especially when you have a chance to leverage up to additional contracts. Another thing worth mentioning here, as I've already pointed out, was the 4 hour, and you can see here the 4 hour last month in September. It's about $2,900 just trading the major currencies here: the Aussie, pound, Canada, euro, yen, Swiss, peso, and New Zealand. And then October thus far, we've got 3 open trades in the pound, yen, and New Zealand. We're up about $3,800 just trading off of a 4 hour chart there, just doing nice, simple, clean swing trades. So do get a lot of questions about, what's working, what am I doing, how am I using it, and in the members area, we've got different ways that we talk about, adding additional filters or parameters that can help increase the odds. But really, in essence, there's not too much that you need to tweak in order to have good trading on these markets. So hope that helps clear some things up. If you have any questions, email us at support@seasonalswingtrader.com, and look forward to seeing you on the inside.